Good afternoon and welcome to the breakdown where we break down Manchester United's performance. Today is a 2-0 draw, a 2-all draw with Aston Villa. And there is a lot to be excited about in the first half and a lot to be angry about in the second half. It's the breakdown on the United Hour. So let's do the thing. Good afternoon, and we have a full house inside with me. Well, we're going to introduce the man that is newest to the program first, and that's the man Trevor. How you doing, big brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Just had a little bug that I had to deal with last week, but we getting over that hump, man.
All right, no worries, man, no worries. Feel free to cough away because we are all far enough away that we can't catch whatever that bug was. I say was because the dry cough just be the last thing to go. The man we haven't
Yeah.
seen in a little while. Good afternoon to the ref, to CJ, and to Greg
Yo,
B. Fellas missing in action. How you gentlemen doing?
I'm cool. Cool.
All right.
well, as you
Darren,
can
are you
see,
trying to say that to convince us or yourself?
I didn't know you were.
And the man
But
Jody Alexander. All right, guys. So let's just jump. Let's just jump straight into it. And I want to start off with the team sheet. You know, I was called a conspiracy theorist on Thursday, so maybe I should just take it on today, right? Because
damn,
I've been saying that when Ralph wants to drop big players, they suddenly have a little niggle. Because from my understanding, and I'm sure a number of people watching online now and who are here in the studio, who are here live with me, would remember that Ralph Ragnick said in his press conference on Friday, when specifically asked about Cristiano Ronaldo, he said Cristiano Ronaldo trained and he was good. That was Friday, right? That was yesterday. He said there was one more training session, which would have been the afternoon training session that they had to go to. And then lo and behold, Cristiano Ronaldo's hip is acting back up, and he was unavailable. But all right, you take Ralph at his word, right? Cristiano Ronaldo had an injury, so he wasn't available for the game. But what were your thoughts when you saw that team sheet? I want to start off first. Let's start off with Trevor. Trevor, how did you feel? What are your thoughts when you saw the team sheet today?
No, well, firstly, when you mentioned that with Ralph and CR7 did an interview himself, and he said he had a little injury and it might have had a little niggle to it. So he said he will still see himself if he could be available for the match. So I think it's in line with what Ralph was saying. So I will give him that pass. I was glad to see Elanga getting a start. However, I was like, why Elanga starting and Donica get a start? You know, that to me would put a little bit more contention in the dressing room. That to me will put a little bit more one for Donny to want to get out of the club because remember this is a World Cup year. All these players and them trying to be front runners for their respective teams so they could get a national call up. So yeah, I found that to be a little strange. Bruno's standard, Eddie Cav standard, you know, Mason, um, over Sancho, because Mason hasn't been saying anything of late. He was a little spark in the first half, but we're just talking about the team sheet. Nemanja Matic, well, I understand we don't have outsider outsider Matic a proper holding midfielder. And this is one concern I would like to see addressed in January. We need to get a CDM because Matic is of that age where he's too slow. He doesn't have the legs anymore. So when I saw him going up against the likes of Villa's midfield, I said this was a losing battle. However, he held his own in the first half. It's just the second half, you could see the legs ran out. Fred, well, we understand the energy that Fred brings. Tellez, Varane, and Lindelof, Dalot, a standard back four, But again, I believe with this 11 or any 11 that we look to start, conditioning is a huge issue because how Christie will say that he running games and he playing, he doing the training sessions and he's staying back after training. He can't understand how nobody else doing it. So it goes to show that he putting in work plus extra to try and bring his conditioning levels up to play this pressing style that Ralph claims that he wants to play, controlling possession football, right? But then you don't have the players and then don't have the conditioning to deal with it. So David De Gea goal is standard.
I mean, maybe Christie was spending a little too much time in the gym. That's why his hip giving trouble. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because he seemed to be fine before. But, I want to give my reaction and then I want to pitch it to a couple of the other people on the panel. When I saw the team sheet, my first reaction was a big smile. Right? No Ronaldo, no Harry Maguire. I was expecting a better performance from the team, which the team did do for most of the game. I was happy to see Ralph reward players that were playing well. Ilanga came on and played very well. What I found strange is that, he pinpointed Donny van der Beek and talked about, the game having more control with Donny in it. Now, I'm not surprised Donny didn't start. But, it's the same way it was nice to see Langa start because of his performance. It would have been nice to see Donny get a start as well. But that didn't happen. It is what it is. And so, yeah, I was happy about Ralph rewarding, players that doing their thing. And I was also happy that there was no Marcus Rashford. No Marcus Rashford in the game. No Marcus Rashford on the bench. We've spoken on this program about Marcus obviously needing some time away from football to get his head right. And I was glad that Ralph made the kind of big balls decisions. Let's be real, whether it's for England or Manchester United, the minute Harry Maguire has been deemed fit and spent 2 seconds on the training field, he's into the starting 11. Ralph was like, here, what? Take a little bench, So I found Ralph, made some big balls moves today, and I was glad to see it. Jody, let me come to you. Any standout, what was your reaction when you saw the team sheet? Anything that jumped out at you?
To be fair, I think one name that jumped out to me was Matic. I keep saying this, and I'm very shocked that we keep doing this. You cannot keep playing Matic in that sense in the field. Matic is the wrong side of that. You're not playing a pragmatic team. You're a team that is very good.
Jody, you're breaking up really badly. It's really challenging to hear you. So let's go to the ref. Any standouts?
One thing that I really wanted to see was the benching of Greenwood, because Greenwood, as of late, has
just now you wanted to see the benching of Greenwood before the game.
Yeah, I didn't want to see Greenwood on the starting 11.
So let me ask you this: Cristiano Ronaldo injured.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford, I'm sure you're glad that he didn't start.
Yeah.
You didn't want us to start with Greenwood either.
No.
So who did you want to see up front?
Do you want Martial to come back?
No, Sancho.
No, I'm serious. Who did you want to see up front?
Who do I want to see that attacking three? My attacking three would have been Sancho, Cavani, Lingard.
Okay, so you would have dropped Greenwood and start Lingard. All right, fair enough. Go ahead.
All right, so that was my only concern with the starting lineup. Ralph has shown that he is not like others, and I will bench you if you play poorly. But the rest of the players was like, okay, cool, we could take Villa with this.
All right, CJ, anything big? Anything eye dropping for you?
Honestly, none really, because I was a bit concerned with the Fred and Matic setup because if you're looking at it, Matic don't really had the legs to go a full first half. So I was like, maybe he going to sub him off. And I saw Matic stay on the field, and I was like, I really like this. But aside from that, nothing surprising. Um, I kind of agree with Darren, except the Lingard part, but I understand why you would put Lingard because honestly, Mason kind of real annoying. I'm gonna be real honest with you. He's been really annoying for me because if you're watching the game, he had chances to pass and to be real clinical in passing wise, and he still didn't pass. Like this man really did turn around and shoot them angles, and I literally told myself, "Bro, you are 20. You're not Van Persie yet. These angles ain't your thing yet, bro. Pace yourself. Pass the ball. No shame in that." So for me, Mason could be one job for me because when Sancho came on, he still played smart. Yes, he was a bit getting into the game. But for me, I find he was helping link up play and everything else. But aside from that, I'm not really surprised at the lineup.
All right, cool. Greg B.
Pretty much the same sentiments. Like you, would have loved to have seen Donny get some game time in this a lot earlier. Because I mean, it's like, what do you expect him to get within like 5 minutes? And then, what kind of impact is he possibly?
To be the hero, you know.
I mean, but it's like players like Donny Van de Beek, you need time to really integrate and play within the system so you get a feel of everything. 5 minutes isn't enough to really kind of put your stamp on everything. It's not always going to be an impact situation with him, especially in the position that he's in.
Bro, Donny Van der Beek get 5 minutes in 2 games. You know how much time that is in Donny Van der Beek universe? That's a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I think he and Jesse Lingard in the same boat in that regard. So I don't know, but yeah, in retrospect, I didn't necessarily have any issues with the lineup. I think Fred was there to kind of be there to cover the field. Matic would just be that position where, all right, he basically protects the back line as much as he can. But like everybody understands that Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles could both see this. The man has only 45 minutes in his system. He doesn't have that fitness level of a 25, 26 years old. He's my age. In fact, I think I'm older than Matic right now. But
wait, for real?
Yeah, I think he's what, 34? I'm 35.
What?
I'm 35.
Wait.
33.
He's 33.
Men get on like if Matic is the ancient of days, yes?
No,
Yeah,
bro, Matic be looking hella old for 30.
But I'm 30. I'm 35. That just goes to show you. And I know myself. I know myself enough to say, hey, you know what? I can't make this. Okay, sorry, Jody. Yeah, I'm not hearing you properly at all. So, but yeah, as regards the lineup, I wasn't surprised that the players that were picked, because honestly, I think he, like you said, he was rewarding certain players for their performances. I don't know why Big Phil's talking. He's probably about 100, but what? Anyhow, going back to what I was saying. Going back to what I was saying.
Emotional damage.
No, boy. All right, Prez, let's get back on track here, please.
We waited on you to finish it, bro.
Yes. So yeah. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't surprised with the players that came in. You know, obviously Tellez was in for sure because Shaw was suspended. No McTominay for this game because he's also suspended. Bruno being able to kind of be in a bit more of a controlling position where he could get forward more. I mean, that kind of suits the way he naturally plays. So you saw the comfort level in his game today. Cavani, of course, you know, you expected him to be more of a threat going forward. He did do enough to distract, obviously, Martinez for that first goal. But apart from that, Elanga coming into the team, granted, he was deserving of that position because of his performance in the FA Cup. So I have no issues with that. Like he just said, players are being rewarded for their performances in previous games. Yeah, obviously, you get what you put out. So I like I said, outside of Matic.
Let me read some comments, and then I want to answer this question that SSB Ford put up, right? So,
okay, no problem.
The man Big Phil is saying a tale of two halves. This team is not mentally ready for a full game of football. It's almost like we needed that ref from the AFCON to blow off the game early to give us a chance to get the W. Maybe having the AFCON ref might have really helped. without
Boy.
winning the game. Cavani
Again,
did
Boy.
absolutely
again,
nothing
does
today.
this not boil down to fitness? Does this not boil down to game management? Does this not boil down to being able to run a high pressing or a high
Yep.
possession game for full 90?
Of
For the
course, stamina
first
is always
half,
key in those kind of situations, that kind of style of play.
for the
Cavani,
first half, we were 52% possession, right? We
yep.
relinquished, we relinquished probably half and half in the mid. We finished off the game with 45% possession. So that means they turned around in the second half and they dominated in mid because of that switch that he made with Coutinho.
Hmm.
So if Ralph watching Steven Gerrard make that switch, why is he waiting until the 89th minute after two goals has scored to equalize to try and say, well, okay, time for me to make some changes? That's like only 2.0 for me. I don't understand it. Before 2-3-1, I don't understand one because we have the players to play a 4-4-2. When we were watching the play on the wings for the first half, crosses into the box from Tellers, it reminded me of the old Fergie style of play, wing play, right? I'm watching that second half and I'm watching like a lethargic, we don't win this game mindset. And I really don't understand why it is we play football in halves.
Very true.
So Big Phil says Cavani did absolutely nothing today, and he has done nothing for the past 2 to 3 games. And I want to get to this statement here because this is actually one of the points that I have jotted down to talk about. And it is, if we were to get a midfielder, especially a CDM in this transfer, do you guys believe it would ultimately help us to get to the top four? And I want to say this. I want to ask this question to you guys. And my issue with Manchester United is that it seems to me we are not looking to buy anybody. We're hearing a lot of rumors, but we're not hearing the kind of talk of Manchester United is in talks with this club or they're in talks with this player. That's not what we're hearing. We're hearing rumors from newspapers, but we're not hearing any kind of things that suggest something is happening soon. We are seventh, and we are in danger of missing out Champions League football. We are in danger. We have the easiest run. We're gonna meet City in over a month, and then we had to play Chelsea again and a couple of the other tough teams coming to the end of the season. We're gonna be in Champions League football, so we're gonna have a lot of football to play in a very short space of time. Why doesn't the club see the urgency in fixing Manchester United midfield?
Chad, can I even
Talk to
elaborate
me,
on that?
guys.
Can I elaborate on that as you're going forward?
Yeah, well, I train it out there, so
All right.
that's the question. Talk to me, guys.
Let me
You
tell
can
you
go
this,
ahead.
just to make matters worse. One of our rumored targets, Dennis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach, they dropped him today because of the ongoing rumor talk that he's interested in moving to Manchester United. That just goes to show that they're literally
Fred, let me
handling.
ask you a question. You're talking about Dennis Zakaria, okay? Name the next Man United manager.
That's a good point.
Sorry,
You
Jody,
want to go out and buy Dennis
Jody,
Zakaria. You don't even know who the next manager is.
say that again. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
He said that
You want to go out and buy Dennis Zakaria,
Uh-huh.
but you don't even know who the next Man United manager is.
I hear that, Judy. I hear that, but here where my issue. As I said, my issue is we are in the middle of a serious. We have Champions League to play, and we have top four to get. Nobody here would say we could do anything serious in those two regards with that midfield. Manchester United's problem is in midfield. Matic played excellently for 60 minutes and then burnt out. He can't play 2 games back to back, right? We know the issues with Fred and McTominay. Fred had some beautiful passes, some beautiful crosses, but he was the person who gave away the ball in transition most. I'm not saying, it's one thing to give away the ball like Bruno trying to hit a man, to get in the box. It's another thing when you in your part of the field and you giving away the ball in transition. When you're supposed to be moving from defense to attack. So with those issues, why are we not going out and getting a CDM?
And to add to that, on top of that too, is like you look at it from this perspective. Are we going to wait until the summer when we're not even sure if we're gonna be playing Champions League football next season?
Yes.
When you have someone who's available for 6 million. That's pocket change for any club.
That's not how our
Any
board
club.
works.
You have that opportunity to get him to kind of help stabilize a position that you know is basically hemorrhaging when it comes to the way that we play. You're gonna wait until then. Okay, we understand that we're not sure who our next manager is going to be, but at least if we have someone there to fill the position that is needed, we have that opportunity to be able to save ourselves, so the manager can know, okay, hey, I have Europe to look forward to next season once the results turn around. I have players that I can compete in 3 or 4 different competitions if need be. Why are we gonna wait until it turns into a complete disaster to actually make a smart move? Because that is very reactive and it's not proactive.
Well,
Go ahead, Trevor.
That's how the board works. That's how our board works. They wait until it's
And it's pathetic.
mathematically we can no longer get into any Champions League or anything, and then they realize, wait now, it's gonna cost us X amount of dollars. That particular year is when they would spend money to get us back into the
throw
Champions.
something into the mix to add to what Trevor is saying, and then I want to take it to the ref, right? We know. Welcome back, Judy. We know that Ed Woodward is in the job until February 1st. I mean, what does Ed Woodward want to be remembered as? The man that sat down on the chair. You know, they just talk about Nero, the Emperor of Rome, who sat down while Rome burned. Is that what we're going to be remembering Ed as? The man who sat down and did nothing? This is his final window. He didn't leave at the first of January, you know. He didn't leave at the end of December, you know. He's in the position that he has been in until the 1st of February, which means that the owners have left him in that position to oversee the final transfer window. And nothing. Talk to me, ref.
But Chad, here's the thing.
Just now,
I know with
I want to show. I told ref I was throwing this to him before he came back. So after he goes.
Two things very quickly in response to Trevor's point. You have to remember, controversy sells. All right, and if you could stay in the media for longer, your opinion becomes fact and your fact becomes truth, because everybody's seeing that for a point in time. So staying in the media, no matter how, I think is what the board wants. That's one. Two.
But to what end, Darren? To what end?
Yes, but it sells, Greg. It sells. Two, Manchester United, in regards to the transfer window, is the not so looking girl who wants to be popular. In that, she will go. Everybody would be rumored to be with her to elevate their stock. She okay in her. She not bad in it. If you go there, you ain't gonna really lose out in it.
So
but it's not.
So what you're saying is that Manchester United is the football equivalent to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, it will raise your stock.
So everybody want to be linked with us rumor wise, but my issue is who we want to be linked with.
Exactly. No. Thirdly, I give the board a measure of rope because of this. None of us could sit and tell me these players we have now could at least make top 4 on their own strength.
Hence the reason you need to buy somebody.
Right, but who we bought? We bought the GOAT. We bought somebody who was chasing for 2 years. We bought a Champions League proven defender, and you still cannot tell me we can't make top 4?
Yeah, because we ain't fixing midfield. Jody, go ahead and bring in your point.
You see, here's the thing. This is the problem that Man United have. This is a huge, huge problem. I see this as we are Manchester United. Why did we need an interim? I want anyone to turn around and tell me why we needed an interim. We are the biggest club in the world. We've probably got the only club out of the big 10 clubs that can go out right now and pull out 300 million and go and spend it like if it's nothing. 400 million, like it's nothing. Why do we need an interim? We have gone from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We didn't back him in the window because we would have got a centre midfielder if we backed him in the window. The last 2 days before the transfer, a couple of people in this room are fully aware that Man United was circling around Ruben Neves, 32 million. Soon as Ronaldo to City hit the platform, United have done what they've done for the last 13 years, be reactionary and go on buy Ronaldo. Can anyone on this panel turn around and tell me if we actually needed Ronaldo? You didn't need him.
Needed Ronaldo.
It wasn't a player that we needed.
The board needed Ronaldo.
What?
The board needed
The
Ronaldo.
board.
Sell shares.
No, Ed Woodward needed Ronaldo.
Board.
Ed Woodward was outgoing and needed to cement his legacy. No, not the board. Ed Woodward.
The owners.
Ed Woodward made this buy, not the board.
The owners realized that our stock prices would go up, and immediately after the announcement of Ronaldo, our stock prices went all the way up, and they went and sell class shares. They did that.
Yep.
Both of you
Trevor, the board, the Glazers do not run the day-to-day operations of Manchester United.
Both of you
Ed Woodward does.
saying the same thing.
So going fast forward now, you've appointed an interim.
Yeah.
Okay, you've basically appointed an interim. Who's going to play for an interim right now, knowing that he's outgoing in May? Are you going to buy a player for the interim, knowing that he's outgoing in May? We don't know who the next manager is. So I know as much as it frustrates us, we know we need a midfielder. But our priority target for midfield remains the same come the summertime. And that is 120 million. United have got 400 million to spend in the summer. The priority is Declan Rice. They are going to drop that 120. They're not going after Haaland because the first 2 years we stand to lose 85 million euros.
That I'm okay with.
His total
You've invested in 2 players over the last 2 years that has taken our strike force backwards.
Haaland total outlay.
Like CJ made a point earlier on. Mason,
Yeah.
it's 300 million. Okay, over the first 2 years, the buyout is going to be 120 million at the end of the second year.
On Haaland is about
We lose 80 million on the outlook.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but the first 2 years cost us 200 million.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing.
We lose 100. We lose 80 million straight off the bat. No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've been throwing.
You can't go out and buy a player in January.
Throwing money at the problems ever since Saf left. Because they didn't have an action plan. They never had one.
Even before Sir Alex Ferguson left, we were throwing money at the problems. Sir Alex is part of the problem, but no one wants to turn around and say it. This started, we didn't need Dimitar Berbatov. It worked out half decent, but we never needed him. It's only because he was going City for 30 million. No, Sir Alex couldn't have that. Went out and bought him. We never needed him.
Yeah, but the difference is Saf is
We needed to buy him improvements in midfield at the time.
I could say something though.
What? Did someone turn around and say Sir Alex was a genius?
He was.
The same genius that Man United were going to sack in 2004. What?
I could say something.
Is, not was, is.
That's news to me. I didn't even know that.
No, we could have another show, and that's Alex debate. CJ, talk to me. What it is you want to wait?
This is a good one for Old Talk.
Is okay. In hearing it, my personal viewpoint is, I realistically would have wanted a DM over Ronaldo. If I could get the Infinity Stones and make the change, of course, I would have done it. But at the same time, it's a really, really messed up situation because what were you going to do if you said no to Ronaldo? Because we could have said all of this, but trust and believe, if Ronaldo went City and Ronaldo was putting goal after goal, and news came about, breaking news, you could have signed Ronaldo, but no, we decided to sign somewhere else.
CJ, I wanna ask you this question. You know, they say hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
If Ronaldo went to City and he was scoring goals, and City are as they are right now with a 10-point gap, right? 8 to 10 points
13
on the table, and Manchester United was 4th, not 7th. We were 4th and very close to 3rd and to 2nd. Would you have taken that if Manchester United allowed Ronaldo to go and bought a CDM and we were in a better position, right, than we are now? Would you have been like, you know what, that's okay? Or would you still say, nah, we call it Ronaldo go City, buy Ronaldo at all costs? Talk to me in hindsight. What would you have done?
No, that's what I'm saying. Me personally, you know me, I'm a very reasonable person, I wouldn't have been no mad at that. I would have been like, yeah, I expected this to go where it goes. But we know the fan base. I see kicks. We
No,
know our
I
fan
want
base.
that direct answer. I don't
Yeah.
understand what you just tell me. Would
Me
you have
personally-
taken Ronaldo or would you have bought a CDM?
I would have bought the CDM 100%. I said that. I would have bought the CDM.
Right, good.
But what I'm saying is this, right? We know the fan base. Greg and I have talked about the fan base. Darren has even talked about the fan base. Bruh, if we would have been in your position that you said, we would have still be having the same argument of why didn't we go for this? Why didn't we go for that? Because you can't just please people. And I think the problem is, I think we need to start making some choices that no one's going to like, but we have to see the hindsight of it all. Because in the long term, a DM would have literally helped out United in what it wanted to do. Now,
Does anyone know how this Ronaldo deal came to be?
No?
Wasn't it a ploy from
Does anyone
George
know how the
Mendes?
Ronaldo deal came to be?
Wasn't it like a ploy from George Mendes or something like that?
Well, the worst part is Gary Lineker let it loose on BBC Sport, didn't he? Saying that Ed Woodward, who's a good friend of his, was sitting in his garden, and Ed Woodward turned around and say, "Watch me sign Ronaldo." Then half an hour later, did the deal.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, Varane took 4 months. Ronaldo took like 4
If
minutes.
you're looking at my face and I look gobsmacked, it's because I'm wondering why we took back a player who was 36 years old, paid him £650,000 a week after tax. That's £1.1 million a week, by the way, before tax. That's, if you work that out over 52 weeks, that is well over £60 million a year on wages.
Wow.
And you're telling me we couldn't buy 3 CDMs with that, 3 midfielders?
No, we definitely could have we could have bought a whole team with that.
I have cancers running my club.
Nobody else.
I have to sit there and watch Matic in my midfield. He moves 2 yards and he needs a Zimmer frame.
Wow.
Because nobody else that we could have signed.
I can't. It's so disgusting to watch United now.
Nobody else we could have signed would have increased United stock price by £1.75.
Exactly.
Nobody else. Right?
Men was
3 months ago in October, 3 months ago, they sold 8% of their shares, stock value of about £140 million. Nobody else could have done those.
Okay, Trevor.
Outside of Ronaldo.
The day Ronaldo was signed.
I'm not saying what they did is it makes sense. I'm not saying what they did is right. I'm just explaining to you why it is they did. It is a financial football is business. We are run by businessmen, not lovers of football.
Fact.
Our club is run.
Whether you see it as facts or not, the fact of the matter is, here's the thing: when David Gill and Sir Alex Ferguson ran Manchester United in the 90s, we didn't buy superstars; we made them.
Yep.
We always made superstars. Why are we buying superstars? We make them. And this is what I'm so frustrated at right now.
Why are we buying superstars? Because the man who is leaving, and the person who is leaving his position, he's still...
Name a superstar that Man City have bought. Name a superstar Liverpool have bought. They're making them right now.
All right, guys. I want to run through the game because that's what he breaks.
I really hope he doesn't trip down the stairs on his way out.
You hope he doesn't? You should.
I think he hope he does. I think that's what he meant to say. He hope he does.
I hope he doesn't.
You come and you make this big announcement.
No, I actually hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't trip down the stairs on his way out.
I don't understand. He make this big statement saying that I'm leaving September, tears in his eye.
And you're still here.
And you're still
4 months later, and you're still here.
It's like
just leave. Get out of my club. Just
it's
leave.
like that. It's like that toxic relationship.
Thank you for signing. Thank you for the Cadbury sponsorship. Thank you for the cola on my sleeve. Thank you. Outside of that, leave. You've done nothing else for us.
Guys, Trevor.
It's facts there. Trevor's spitting facts.
Ed is the money man. Ed could create money out of thin air. Who are we going to get?
Here's the irony. Ed didn't sign these sponsorships. And this is what irritates me. Ed didn't do that work.
To create wealth at United.
Who are we going to get
to create wealth?
Hear me out, Ed was a banker, right?
Right.
knew nothing about football.
Right.
Okay? You came to United, you didn't know anything about transfers. As far as I'm concerned, you still don't know anything about transfers.
I
Right?
no problem with that.
Or football.
My 8-year-old daughter could replace Ed.
Damn.
Trevor. And what I want to the fan base to understand is Ed Woodward need to leave United or just the football department of Manchester United?
Listen to
Put
me.
it all together.
United is a license to
Here's
print
the thing.
money.
Okay, I'm going to stop
Right?
you there.
Anybody could take United.
Okay, stop.
We have the
Let me
biggest-
interrupt you guys here because I think you're all getting what Edwin does for a living completely
We have
wrong.
Tell me, Trevor, you could go to
we have
United
the-
no
we have
and
the
make the
biggest
same
kit
moves Ed
deal.
make.
We have the biggest kit deal with Team Viewer in a
Right.
pandemic.
Right. Could
Right?
you go and do Ed Woodward's job?
Of course, I could do Edwards. United sells itself.
If Trevor, if you make
Bro,
it
you can't do Edward Woodward's job because you don't know what Edward Woodward does.
I just want to.
You are actually talking about someone else's job right now.
Too big, Trevor. When you reach up there and you take office, just say the ref. Just give him a little small and in the front office now, but you know.
I'll get ambassador.
Guys, as much as everything.
Let's get back on track, people. Let's get back on track.
We need to go through the game. That's what he brings.
Here's the thing, you can't get back on track because this isn't a player problem. It's a board problem.
Of course, I can get back on track. I had a mute button. No, I could mute all here right now. So right? Because I mean, what you guys saying is all well
Chad is drunk with power.
Right? What you all are saying is all well documented and is facts. And as fans, we frustrated, and that is why I said I don't understand the decision making by the owners to allow this guy to see out the final transfer window. Why he didn't leave at the end of December? If you're going to trust Richard Arnold to take the club forward as CEO from the beginning of February, then trust him with this January transfer window. But whatever, we have no say over that. Right? Let's talk about what we saw for 90 minutes on the pitch. So for the first half, we looked very good. Right? We had a positive start. We had an aggressive start. I heard somebody say that, because Aston Villa was playing well in terms of attacking, we look better. I don't buy that. I don't believe that. Aston Villa was trying.
No, we stifled them. We stifled them.
Was excellent in the first half. And for 60 minutes, the headline would have been, if the game ended at the 60th minute, when we were 2-0 up, the headline would have been, no Ronaldo, no problem.
Yeah, that's
no Ronaldo, no Maguire, no Rashford, no problem. That would have been the headline. Everybody would have been like, yeah, well, we didn't miss them guys. But unfortunately, the game is 90 minutes, right? So let's go through the first half quickly. In the 6th minute, Bruno Fernandes off of a corner that wasn't cleared properly.
Was it a corner or a free kick?
It was a free
kick. Yes, a free kick. And Fred playing him through, got the ball, took a shot. Cavani swiped at it and missed. And a very good goalkeeper in Martinez bubbled the ball. It went between his legs. He laid an egg, a golden egg for Bruno Fernandes. And Manchester United was 1-0 up. Right? We don't even need to talk about that. David De Gea made some humongous saves.
Why?
That save
he was
off of
stellar.
the corner.
70%
from Buendia.
That Buendia already was started to celebrate in his mind. He was so confident that he scored that ball. That is what you call a real reaction save. And people say, "Oh, well, it was straight at him." No.
Quick fact: the 70% of the world is covered in water. The rest is covered by David De Gea. Cause my God, why? That was a save. No,
that was a very good save.
Amazing. I thought when Dia scored actually. I really thought when Dia scored actually.
So David De Gea continued to look good. Anthony Elanga.
Nah, he was amazing today.
Bright
He was
spot.
amazing.
Players who get a chance is supposed to do. For
Yes.
all of those people, and I'm going to take a shot at Bruno, at Donny, because for all of those people, who has made Donny van der Beek the most popular player at Manchester United, the most talked about player at Manchester United, because Donny don't get a chance, and these coaches, they're so mean, and they're so this and they so that. If Donny when he does get to play, did what Anthony Langer played for 10 minutes and got us starting in the
Yeah,
next game.
yeah.
If Donny was to come on and ball a game, control a game, dominate a game, he would get more minutes. Anthony Langer played, and he actually put a stamp
Here's the
down for
thing,
the
Chad.
next game.
I have to stop you there because when Donny came on, there was a bit at the end where he turned the defender, made him look like he was playing Sunday league football,
Yeah,
Correct.
Donny.
Shh,
and
don't
he
say that
took
too hard,
things on
Johnny.
a
Don't say
different
that too hard.
level.
Don't say that too hard. Don't say that too hard.
I'm not
And
talking about today.
when
Donny
Donny
was good
came
today.
on, nah, Donny
Bruh,
doesn't get enough credit for what he does in that time he comes on.
because it's
Donny
Listen,
shined in that little time.
You know what he needed to do to get credit? Score and win the game.
Yeah, cool.
Be the hero.
That's everything.
what
Yeah.
kind of
Score.
If he had
Well,
scored
why
and won
didn't
the
you
game,
ask? Why didn't you
and
ask
be
the
the
players
hero.
who have been on for the whole game why they didn't score?
Yeah,
No.
because
I just be talking about
President
that.
Chad,
We're gonna get to
you're
everybody
sounding
else.
like
Trust me.
Joe Jackson talking to Jackson 5, eh? This little real toxic. Like you missed that step, and the crowd was going good, but you missed that
So,
step. What wrong with you?
Anthony Langer-
What mean good? Like, what?
Anthony Langer, to me, was one of the best players on the pitch all game, not just parts of the game. While he was on the pitch, he was going forward, he was getting back, helping the defense, and he always looked dangerous.
Bruno.
He made where Greenwood fell short today, because to me, Greenwood also had a good game. Anthony Langer didn't. He made the right decision.
Greenwood is the best player on the
Shot
pitch.
when the shoot was on, he passed the ball when he was supposed to pass the ball. He ran at defenders when he was supposed to run at them. He passed the ball back when the run was on. His decision making was way better than Mason Greenwood's, and if we dare say it, than Marcus Rashford's has been when he was on. But
if we dare say it is the truth.
so at halftime, we went inside and we were 1-0 up. And I was telling myself, I'm going to tell you all my thoughts, and then I want to get everybody else's thoughts at halftime. At halftime, I was telling myself, if Ralph could continue to could build on this performance, I could really see us going deep in the Champions League, playing this level of ball. That's where my mind was at. My mind was in Champions League. I was like, if Ralph could continue to build on what I saw for 45 minutes, we could be making some moves. We could be doing something. What was your feeling at halftime? Let's go with you, Greg B. I need in a little bit.
The way I look at it is like the performance was good. At halftime, I was saying to myself, we just need to be more in control of the midfield, which is always going to be our biggest issue. Because if we didn't learn anything from that FA Cup game, if you saw how McGinn and Ramsey and all those other guys linked up in between and knocking the ball and making those little 1-2s, we needed to stifle
Greg,
that.
sorry to interrupt, Greg. Breaking news: Everton board have just met in the last 15 minutes to discuss. They're actually meeting at Goodison Park right now to discuss Rafa Benitez. It was reported that they were going to meet. They're actually in a meeting now.
Yeah, I was hearing that.
Damn.
Go ahead, Greg.
So it
Yeah,
looks
they were
like
talking about him meeting. They're actually in the meeting as we're talking right now.
yeah, Rafa's getting sacked. Anyhow,
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, but yes, thanks for that, Jody. Thanks for that. But anyway, I was saying to myself, like, Ralph needed to tell them to control that midfield because that was an area that you always knew that was going to be troublesome for us, especially like we've all know Matic is not going to always have those legs. So I think Aston Villa, knowing that, took advantage of that, and they were probably glad to see Matic still on the pitch after 60 minutes. So outside of that, when I saw Bruno score that second goal, I was like, okay, we might be able to just see this one out. Not the case. Everybody just fell asleep after
Our
that.
coach favors playing a 4-2-2-2 or 4-3-3. The man changed his system to make us compact in the middle. Right? And they bring on Coutinho and literally just carve us up.
Yeah.
I mean, say something to me, CJ. Tell me something. Anything
Honest,
to make me feel
honestly,
better.
all right. Only thing I could say is that, and I was talking to Greg about it, and I think Trevor brought it up. In terms of the mentality, the conditioning, in the first half, what I saw compared from other games, we really were putting in some shifts. I'm not going to lie. The passing was good. Under pressure, everybody was doing it. And when we lost the ball, we literally ran and took it back. Now, the thing is, to do that, do I think these guys could do it for 90 minutes? No. I don't think they could do that for 90 minutes. But it's a process. So I tell myself, you know what? I'll allow it and see what it is. I think my only problem was that the mentality came back more than the conditioning when we scored the second goal. Because when we started to see that comfort, we were like, all right, game over. That's the end of it. And on top of it, I want to say the subs, we could have get some subs in there because the Donny sub would have been better earlier because if he almost scored with that turn, which was amazing, what would he have done with the majority of the game? Because if you look at it on paper, West Ham had a lot of chances, yes, but they weren't really dominating us. They weren't really dominating the midfield. So I often felt like, we really dropped the ball on this one mentally because I feel like for the second half, levels went down as soon as we started to get comfortable. And when we got the chance to score, and we did, Bruno had a great goal, we didn't tell ourselves, you know what, let's control the game. Let's now finally continue on this run or clean up on the back like we were doing in the first half. So you could really see the mentality, and also you could also see the conditioning, which I do believe the conditioning will get better over time because they will get used to the training, they will get used to a lot of things. But the mentality is something that's been holding us back, and this game is it. Because if you had the mentality at least instead of the conditioning, we could have seen it out, and that's just me.
Trevor, I wanna come to you. You mentioned it earlier, I think, that that we got gassed, that the team was tired. Um, Aston Villa was playing at home. The crowd was behind them. They brought on Coutinho. It kind of lift their levels a little bit. Um, is that? Do you think overall that was just the issue?
I'm going to read Samuel Locker's tweet. This is Manchester Evening News. In-game management from Ragnick was dreadful. Should have made changes sooner. Sancho was the wrong man to come on, and then still no second sub until it was effectively too late. United go around in circles with the midfield. Whatever the partnership, it is unsustainable. Right? So I had I have a group chat um, where we speak about all things football, and another um, United, if you want to call him that, fan says throw away whole starting 11 because that's not, you can't blame that on Ragnick, you can't blame that on Ole. Now, I watch football holistically. I don't just watch it from a myopic vision. I watch the tactics, the end game, the formation, everything. And not only that, I've been watching the statements being made in press conferences. I've been watching the statements being made from players and so on and so forth. At first, they started to complain about Ragnick and his late night training sessions, right? Which led me to believe that these players had a bit of a prima donna shine to them, right? Fast forward on your QCR7, who is a consummate professional, a consummate beast as it pertains to conditioning and his well-being and his health and everything as it pertains to football. You would remember that when he was playing a match and he got sent off, well, not got sent, he got taken off, I think about 5 minutes or 10 minutes before time. He immediately ran down to the tunnel to go and do the ice bath so he could prepare his body for the next match. All our players don't do that. They spoke about the diet. They spoke about eating sweets. How he doesn't do it, so all of a sudden they're gonna start cutting down on doing it. it is a lifestyle. To me, our players and them, as CJ was saying, the mentality that they have is we control this thing, we run this thing. If we don't like the manager, we could just down tools and the manager will get lost out. Again,
So
something like that.
so you think it's just a mentality issue? That is the
To
main
me,
challenge.
to me,
And
it's a mentality issue. To me, it's a conditioning issue. To me, it is a tactical awareness issue as it pertains to our coach. To me, it is a board issue. How they only studying money and they're not studying the club. To me, it is all these factors put together that make the pot of mess that Man United is in right now, the mess that we are in. You watch City, you watch Chelsea, you watch Liverpool. All of these teams and them in the past 3, 4, 5, 6 years has been geared to winning trophies, has been geared as a play style, a style of football, conditioning. You're watching Liverpool run, they're going to run at you for 90 minutes. You're watching City run, they're going to run at you for 90 minutes. You're watching Chelsea run, they're going to run at you for 90 minutes. Come hell or high water, Chelsea change a coach, Chelsea's winning a trophy. Come hell or high water, you're watching City going to win a trophy. Liverpool has won trophies in the past 4 or 5 years with Klopp and his style of play and his man management. They put things in place, they put components in place to make these clubs and them successful. They put the coach in place and they put the teams around the players around the coach that would suit his play style that he wants to have them play for him, and they're gonna give 100% for him. Sometimes I'm not seeing our players giving 100% for when we had Ole, and I'm not seeing our players giving 100% for Ragnick now. I watched the first 45 minutes against Chelsea, and I said that's the best I have ever seen Manchester United play in the post Sir Alex era when we played at 45 minutes against Crystal Palace. High press, intensity, full, potent, attacking, wing play, chasing down the ball, breaking up position. You know, I've never seen United play like that, and I was like, this is a birth of something new. Only for us now to fall back into the same doldrums because they don't like his late night training sessions. They don't like how they're getting overworked. They don't like his formation style of 4-2-2-2-2. So now he has to go back on revert to 4-3-2-1 to suit them. Come on, we not cuddling prima donnas. These are men who making upwards of £100,000 a week. Earn your pay. Earn your pay. That's my issue with Manchester United and their players.
Greg,
Chad.
I know
Yeah.
you're looking to head out, so I
Mhm.
wanna just raise that jersey back up and tell people what it says.
It says culture shock. And I think that is something that is desperately needed at Manchester United right now. Like Trevor pointed out, everything is basically sum of all parts that is an issue at Manchester United right now. It's become a situation where somebody held up a banner in the away end at Villa Park today that is saying it's rotten from top to bottom. And it's the truth. Because the same ideas and the same attitudes that the board may carry about in the way that this club is being run, it's being shown in the way that the team is playing and the displays and the results that we are getting at this current point. And it is rotten. The owners are spoiling themselves rotten with the profits that are being made from this club, and the players themselves are being spoiled rotten with the money that they're making for putting in mediocre performances. The behaviors are showing, and it's rearing their ugly heads because it's become a situation where nobody seems to want to affect a certain change to that point where you only have Ronaldo who's trying to get certain standards and certain levels back up, but everybody else isn't following suit because they've been set in their own ways. And it's become something that really is required. So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put it up one more time. If anybody does see culture shock, this is something that is desperately needed at Manchester United, and it needs to happen soon before it gets even worse. Before we find ourselves probably in a relegation battle in the next probably 2 years. Chatty muted.
All right, Greg. I know you're heading out, so
Yeah, guys. So shout out to you
until
guys. We'll catch up. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
this one is a tough one to take. Hopefully, we can still try and enjoy the weekend. Make the most of it for what it's worth. I'm out.
Yeah.
we're gonna for the last few minutes of the program because we're looking to wind down. My question is simply this: what are the takeaways? What were your positive takeaways, if any, and what were your negative takeaways, specifically from the performance? From a performance perspective, what did you see that gives you any hope or gives you dread looking forward to the rest of the season? Let me start off with the ref.
All right. Positives from this game. We can play football.
Yeah.
Well said.
That's
Well
true.
said.
We
True.
can play football. That is the only positive I have with this game. And we could go into the technicalities of that, but time is against us. Negative, we have a long way to go to compete in football on the pitch. We can compete in football money wise, brand power, supporters, all of that. We can compete and probably dominate. But on the pitch, we have a long way to go. That's my takeaway from this game, especially.
CJ?
Honestly, it shows that in terms of the system Ralph wants to play, men could press, like the first half wasn't just anything. Men could actually press, men could play football. Even the defense showed what it could do. Defense pull up. The problem is, are we consistent enough and are men willing enough to be consistent? And is the system in itself aiding that consistency, going against it, and just priding off egos? Because it's a wild thing. Because at the one time you say you want to blame, you could blame Ralph in the sense of no subs and everything, but overall, when you look at what Ralph is representing and what Ralph wants to do, you want to keep that because let's look at it like this. Everybody here was excited when Ralph Ragnick was here. Because
Still
why?
excited.
And I still am into it. Because why? No nonsense. He doesn't care and he's willing to push and he's willing to do things. And there's what we see in. There's the effects. What we are seeing is a man coming to shake things up, and a lot of people don't like it. And men have to be able to work. And that's the thing. We have a long way to go, but at the same time, we can't just keep breaking and bending for players. And we can't just keep keeping people in the system of who owns the club and who is in the board. Things need to change holistically for everything to work. And until things change, does not change holistically, we can never be where we could be.
Trevor?
Langa, huge positive. It's very good to see that our academy still churning out these young, bright-eyed talents. And to me, if the older ones who on 100K per week don't want to perform, send out the youths. Send out the youths. Play the youths, right? Give these youths and them a chance. Let them run. Put them out in the training sessions and them see how they run. And then give some more chances because you're giving these fellas and them who want a lot of money and they cannot run for a full 90 for you. No, don't do me that. I don't understand how City gain Kevin De Bruyne who coming off a COVID and said when I play my 90, I haven't breathing issues because he still hasn't gotten over the effects of COVID. To score that worldly today, right? How it is Pep getting his players and them to do that. Look, Livers didn't have Mane and they didn't have this other boy,
So, Salah.
right? Salah. And Livers look a little bit of a shadow of themselves, but they have some players on them who could run a full 90, and they have other players on them who they could bring in the system. So they have their backup. Why does United have to be looking so shoddy? So my negative is the mindset of our players. To me, you're 2-0 up, game management. Now, to me, also, we don't have a proper we don't have a proper captain. To me, you lead. And I don't see Maguire leading anybody on that pitch. I personally, I find David De Gea should have been given that captaincy. Correct me if I'm wrong. You might have a different opinion or a different say in the matter. But
No, I don't.
for longevity, how long he has been at the club and what he has done for the club, how much years he has been our best performer. But come and just hand Maguire, who there for a year or two, to me was a slap in the face to everybody. So that was a whole negative on the thing, right? Um, yeah, I just feel according to ref, we have a long way to go because that second half brand of football we will get eat up in Europe, and we going in Europe was next month
Mm-hmm.
to play Atleti,
Atletico
right?
Madrid.
Atleti would see that, and Atleti would eat us up breakfast, lunch, and dinner twice on Sundays. So Ragnick needs to get his ducks in a row. He needs to get his players and them on board. Christie needs to get his players on board. One fellas on them. And to me, I don't believe Ragnick is that independent according to CJ. He's that independent mind thinker. He is to an extent, but I feel he's still a bit of a yes man. I feel he's still a bit of a pawn inside that Glazer framework. You listen to him and you listen to him speak when he does his press conferences. He's very articulate. He knows how to manipulate. Well, not manipulate. He knows how to savvy the media. Listen to him speak and listen to how he phrases certain
Man,
things.
the man in this thing a long time, you learn something along the
Yes,
way.
yes, he's very media savvy, right? And he know how to tell you what he want you to hear, not what you want to hear, what he want you to hear. You know. And I don't know if he's a bit of a Glazer yes man, because I'm not convinced he's 100%. Look, Big Phil saying yes, thank you, Ralph is a yes man, like Jim Carrey. So I don't think he's a bit of an independent thinker. Yes, he German. Yes, he have the German rawness to him and whatever, and he's the godfather and so on and so forth. But remember, he playing the long game because he's going to be a consultant 2 years after the 6 month stint. So he had to play your cards. So I feel he positioning himself, playing his cards, saying whatever it is he want to say, doing whatever it is the Glazers asking him to do, right? So he could see out the 6 months, kick into the curb, get the next get the next guy in, get the next coaching, and then he will be there on hand for the next 2 years as a consultant. But to me, at the end of the day, if you cannot turn around this group of players, this quality group of players, you have Sancho, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno, CR7, Cavani, David De Gea, right? Pogba, Martial, all these players and them, and you cannot bring these players and them into top four, then I go and ask myself, Ralph, what you consulting me for the next 2 years? What consultancy you giving me? What you how you want consult? It's best you had keep Ole because Ole had us in top three, top four, right? Ole had us in top three, top four religiously. So if Ralph cannot get us to at least Champions League football and turn this thing around ASAP with this group of players that we have here, we in serious problems at the end of the season.
All right, cool. So that's a lot for us to digest there. Um, my takeaways from the game today is simply this: the positive, I'm gonna give you the positive, and then I'm gonna give you the negative. All right. So the positive takeaway is Manchester, as to piggyback on what the ref said, Manchester United is very capable of playing high pressing football. I think it is going to take us a little while longer for the fitness levels to work up. Manchester United is like a potato. that when you cut it, you only realize it rotten on the inside. You know, sometimes you get a potato and you, from the outside you could see it rotting, and then you get this nice, big, perfect, firm potato, and you're ready to cut it up and make some fries. And then when you make your first cut, you realize, well, what's going on here? There's a black spot. It's a small black spot, man. I'll just cut it off. You make your second cut, and the black spot just keep getting bigger until you have to throw away the whole potato. That is Manchester United, and that is because Cristiano Ronaldo did not come, as he said, to play for sixth and seventh. He came thinking, this team just signed Varane, this team, this team, that. This team is on the cusp of doing something great. I could come and take them over the edge. And then when he came and he started making cuts, he started realizing how rotten it is. Ralph Ragnick, I think, is also caught up in that. I think he thought to himself, hey, I go into Manchester United, look at this, look at the guys on this roster. I'm gonna come here and we're gonna do something. You know what I mean? I might even do so good, they might even consider me for the permanent job. And then he reach, divide the dressing room, waste of time owners who, in the midst of seeing the crap and the frailties of the team, still refuse to invest in the window, you know, and he is cutting, and the more he cut, he started to realize it's a mess. It's a mess. So the bad thing, I think, however, ultimately, you know, Big Phil said that Ralph out is trending on Twitter. And that to me shows the pettiness of United fans.
As
Everybody
always.
knows we need to
As
improve the
always.
midfield. Everybody knows that Ralph is not responsible to say, well, he doesn't have the authority to say, yeah, just don't even wait till the summer. Let Matic and Mata just pay them fellas off the rest of the season. Let's clear some space. Ralph has intrinsically within himself, the way he does things is very much the United way. He loves to play youth. He has no problem promoting players. He has no problem playing big names on the bench and playing youth. He has a lot of the core values that we as United supporters expect. The question is, will he be allowed to do that in the short time? And there is so much mess here. You know, will he be able to clean it in the short time to get the kind of results? But that first half an hour, 60 minutes of football, more so the first half, gives me a little hope that with a little more time, we just might be able to compete on a level. Because for the first 45 minutes, Manchester United looked like the kind of team that could do damage against a big team, not just Aston Villa, but I could handle or hold down a team in Champions League, for example, or some of the three teams at the top of the league. So that is where my hope lies. You know, I hope he continues to shake up the apple cart. He's not afraid to put our captain on the bench, even though he's fit. You know, he's not afraid to tell Ronaldo stay home because he have a little knock. You know, he's not afraid to do these things. Let's hope that he doesn't start to get super cautious and start making bad decisions.
To me,
You
if
know,
he have them proper cojones, he would go and tell the board, I need Zakaria because ain't no way I want to get that quality of player for
and
£6 million.
do you think that if he hasn't done that? Do you think if he does that, that's gonna make Zakaria come? They're gonna go and get Zakaria through the door?
I would like if he doesn't get a CDM. If he do get a CDM, that would and tell me that he is just a German version of Ole.
Damn.
He's just a German version of Ole.
Everybody is gonna look like a version of Ole if the club does not respond to them.
You can't kill the man, but then kill the idea, yeah.
Because you're playing the same 4-2-3-1, man. We have players for 4-4-2, and this is what killing me. I tell you, when I see 4-2-3-1, and anytime I see a team sheet and I see 4-2-3-1, I just want to go up to Mountain Benedict, Dread, and just want to jump off one of them cliffs or something like that.
Dog, come now,
What?
dog.
Oh God, boy,
Relax,
I just get sick anytime I see 423. I just get sick, dog. Sick to
bruh.
my stomach. I'm telling you.
I could understand Trevor's frustration, but at the
What?
same time, it worked in the sense that the system gave us the control in the midfield that we didn't have against this team the last time we played them.
Now study when he did it for 60 minutes.
Well,
Q
that's
Philip
true,
Coutinho,
but
Q
it
Philip
worked.
Coutinho, Q Philip Coutinho, and that put a whole different spin on things.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, thank you all very much for joining me today. Thank you all very much, those who were tuning into the program right through. Thank you all very much for continuing to support the United Hour as a channel and to support what we're doing here. We're gonna have some content between now and the next game day. The next game day is what, guys? Wednesday, not so?
Yep.
Right, Wednesday, we're taking on Brentford. We're supposed to have a little preview, sorry, for that game. And we're looking to get a Brentford supporter from the UK on for that preview to give us some real insight into what's going on at Brentford right now. So keep tuned for that preview show. And then again, Wednesday after the game, we're gonna have another breakdown. So as I always say, Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.